I am Kat Woods and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to share with you an idea that had popped up. Some of the ideas came from all of the stuff that you see in front of me. I mean, look at all of these goodies. These all came from Mr. Pen. So he has been sending a lot of good colors. Look at these colors. Highlighters, pens that match. Not only that, there's also, oh, let me share this. You can check out his website or on Amazon. And then that same color combination also has post-it notes, flags, post-it notes together. So he was sending me all of this, and then also this set's kind of the same, but it's kind of a little bit different, has a little bit more pastel colors, but they could still used together. So, and these are, they're the sleek pastel, yeah, they're still pastel, sleek pastel highlighters, and then the fine lighters. So they're kind of like dupes for the Micron pens. All right. He also sent these, and I know they look super confusing, like what would you do with these? They're different colors. I don't know if the colors mean anything. Maybe one color would be better for you, but what they are, the red, blue, green, there's literally all the colors of the rainbow. I have yellow here. So what you do is, when you're reading your book or your Bible, you can peel this sleeve. It's a protected sleeve, so they're not scratching on each other. Once you get a good hang of it, I'm not going to sit here and fight, but there's a sleeve that you go ahead and peel off, as you can tell right here. Okay, so you use this little yellow part, and it like keeps you track like where you're reading. So if you're like me and you like writing out the verses, this can be another good flag, and it'll let you know right where you're at. So that's an idea. And if you're interested in those, they're called highlighting strips for reading. There is this barcode. All right, and I have shared these tags several different times on my channel. They have these, I guess, circle looking ones, multiple colors. All of these come in different colors, and what they are, they're on like little plastic sleeves. I keep them in my planners. That's where I like them. I will cut this off because it's a bound planner. The Moleskine planner, they're bound, so I don't have any rings. So you can cut them off, or you can put them in your spirals. Okay, so looking at all of these goodies here, and he's always sending me these. I have sent so many out to my sisters, and like Happy Mail, I've gifted them. There's just so many. So I'm sitting here looking at all of these supplies, looking at what I already have in my collection. I'm like, how can I use these to help me deeper? You just dive deeper into God's Word. Okay, so 66 books of the Bible, flags, post-it notes, highlighters, and pens. Okay, now you don't need all of them. I'm not saying rush out to anything. I'm not saying go buy one particular brand. That's not what this is about. Use what you have on hand. Typically, we all have tags, no matter what they look like. You can write, like here, you can write all 66 books of the Bible and then place them where you need them on where I'm about to show you. Don't put them in the Bible. This isn't nothing to do with the Bible. This is another step to help you dive deeper and get more out of what you're reading in each book of the Bible. Okay? So get your tags, whatever they look like. You can get pretty cheap Bible tabs like this is just a couple of dollars off of Amazon or his website. You don't need anything from Mr. Pin in particular, but there's a lot of cute ones. There's ones I want to get, I'm going to save up for. I have them on my wish list, and I'm going to also be sharing them. They're super adorable. But anyways, so we don't need to be spending. That's the point. We're not spending. We're using what we have on hand. So get a good size book that you're comfortable with writing in. I was going to use I have several of these. I have like 7 of them, actually 7 of them. And they're just regular, the name has slipped my mind. What is it? It's not a commonplace. I know you guys are screaming at the screen what this is. But so I have a lot of them. Composition book. There we go. And they're amazing. They hold so much information in them, but my only problem is if I want to switch a page, add a page, move a page around, take a page out, I cannot have that option in a bound book. So keep that in mind. If you don't plan on adding pages, switching pages, doing anything like that, and a bound book is okay with you, use again what you have on hand. You can use this as a tester so you know what you can do for your next real big study. And I'm trying to come up with the name. If you know me, I like naming everything. I have Bible gardens, I have cuddle Bibles, I have daily drivers, workhorses. Like, I just like to name things. So when it comes to a book like what I'm about to show you, that's going to hold extra notes for the whole Bible, all 66 books of the Bible, I want a good name for it. I don't want to call it my war binder because that's typically for prayers. I don't want to call it my faith binder because it's just going to be more than just faith. So you see why I'm struggling with this? So anyways, different sizes, hard, soft, doesn't matter. There's no right, no wrong. Just get a book that is going to be good for your needs on how you want this project to be. So I was thinking I have a lot of planners. So many happy planners because I really love this line. I like the portableness of it. It's not going to go anywhere with me, but if I wanted to, I could. Most importantly, I like how I can make it really, really thick. I can make it thin. You can have different sizes. So I really like the disc option. Again, because you can change it around. If I want to add more pages, just slide in the page right there, pull it out if I make a mistake. Like, I like the portability of the disc layout. All right. And again, I just have this one over here because you could see like the size of it. This is a super large one. I mean, there's just so much room. Too much room for me and what I don't need right now, because if I have a lot of room, I will get overwhelmed, and I don't like to be overwhelmed, especially on a project like this. So I figured the regular size is perfect. The small one, the mini, I don't remember all the names for all of this stuff, but they're just not the little nano, the tiny one, but the medium size one. That's just still too small. So the regular size, perfect for me. This is like a 19 or 2020. Either 2019 or 2020. I forget. Let's see if I have it here. So 2020. Okay. 2020. So it's just a regular old planner. Beautiful. I'm not using any of the dates like how it does because it's an old planner. So I'm keeping Post-it notes, different colors, different sizes up here available to me. I do have the same with the front. This one fell down. I have transparent Post-it notes. I have lined Post-it notes. I have this really big Post-it note here. Extra sheet of Post-it notes. And then what you see over here on the side, there's all of the books of the Bible. So 66 books of the Bible. You're going to have to do a little bit of math. I counted out every 2 pages a page and a half, but 2 pages of what I did for every book of the Bible. And it is going to be time consuming. It's going to take a little bit of work, but the ending of it is going to be so helpful. Again, you can add pages where you need them. I'm not going to use all 2 pages for like Leviticus, Numbers, stuff like that. I don't believe I will use a lot of papers. But when it comes to the Psalms, books that are my favorite, I know I'm going to need a lot of paper in there. All right. So that's why I made the ring option my option. And what I'm doing, you don't have to do this. This isn't a key on, I'm going to teach you how to study every book of the Bible. This is just what I am doing. This is how I am making myself, one, slow down. I already read the whole Bible cover to cover in the ESV translation. So now I'm reading it again in the New King James translation. But I'm also wanting to take some time separating Bible time and my Bible reading and my Bible study. Those are always separate. I never put them together. Okay? I've said that several times on this channel, and I shared how I separate it. So when it comes to I'm ready to sit down at the desk, I have my study Bible, which is my life application. I may have 2, I may have 3, I may just have the 1. Get whatever study Bible that you want. And at the very beginning, all study Bibles have a very helpful beginning page of information. I guess I should just go to Genesis since I'm here at Genesis. So at the very beginning, this information I typically overlook. I don't read it. I don't look at it. Does not capture my attention at all whenever I come to the study Bibles. Whenever I open up a study Bible, I go to the verse that I'm looking up, I read that note, and I close it up. That's typically all I do with study Bibles. I wanted to use more of my study Bible. So this is the next best thing that I figured I could do that would help me learn, gain knowledge, and grow more stronger in my faith. That's always my goal, especially for myself. Every year I want to gain knowledge. So this is kind of the best way that I figured out. So we're in Genesis. I'm writing out the, and this is the monthly goals. You can't even see it. I just crossed out the monthly goals and I put on, this is the vital. So this is what I'm really going to be paying attention to in Genesis. This is the purpose. We got the author, the date, where it was written, and who it was written for. We have the key people. We have key verses. And just different little things that I've seen throughout this whole outline. I'm just writing it out here. This little habit tracker, I don't know if I was just doing like a reading. I quickly fell off of that because I'm already doing that in my daily planner. So I did a couple of days and that was just it. So it was just for looks. It doesn't mean anything at all. I have already too much time taken away from what I really need to be doing than just to worry about a little habit tracker. And then over here, again, notes, whatever. So what I was reading through Genesis, if chapter, let's say over here, what this is, it says Genesis in the beginning. Oh, okay. So right here, this whole little section right here of more, I'm going to say article. It's just an article over, outline over Genesis. I took all this. It does take time. You do have to slow down. I just added it right here. So I am soaking up information that I normally don't pay attention to. And I just add it right here. Now over here on the next page, your layouts, your pages, your paper may not look the same like this. So please don't go out and try to purchase the same packs of paper, the same anything. This was just what was in this planner. I added this little flower paper from another planner just for extra writing. This is just beautiful writing paper. It already had the holes punched, so I just totally destructed 3 different planners and placed them all into one. That's all I did. Do the same. I know you have a lot of stuff in your stash. I know you have a lot of different papers. Completely sit down for a whole weekend, a whole evening, put your workbook together. We're gonna come up with a name. If you can think of a name, leave it in the comments below because I may use it. So, but we do need to come up with a name for this amazing workbook. And it's one not only to help us, but our family, our kids. Our kids can go back when they grab this. They're going to be like, oh, they know what notes this is going to be over because they can see the book right there. This is over Genesis. This is what my mom pulled, the information she pulled out. If you have any questions, write down a question. Even if you filled out this whole page, let's say right now I had more information from a different study note, I can easily come here, grab a Post-it note, and just place it right on top. Like, you can take Post-it notes off, you can remove them. That's why I'm really, really encouraging you to use Post-it notes. Just for the random questions, thoughts, reflections. The basis of, like, the meat part of your, that book of the Bible, write it down on the piece of paper. Again, you can add it, you can take away. All right, so this is just the blueprint over here. Or this is the blueprint. Yeah, I have written it right there. Too many words going on at once. All right. And then when it comes to all the notes, so right here, I should do this at the last. So this will be the beginning, and this will be the bottom one. It just made it easier. All right, so at the beginning, I will write down the study note. So for study note Genesis 6:9, I've written out more information. So I didn't just keep it here in this because, again, I only had a page, 2 pages, but by the time I came here, I had no room to write anything. So I said I wrote more information about this in my Bella Traveler's Notebook. So I know if I need to look at Genesis 6:9 and I needed more information over it, go to my additional book. It doesn't have to be anything special, and I knew that information would be there. Again, for Genesis 12:2, and then for Psalms, 15? So Genesis 15:1, I had a reference I also added to that study note. Genesis 18:41, and then I ended it with Genesis 45 verse 7. I have a Dake study note, so I pulled out a different study Bible, and I also added a Post-it note in my Traveler's Notebook. All right, so you don't have to do all of that. That's just something that I wanted to do because I needed more room. I didn't have any additional room. I didn't think about it until I was going to do this video. All this information, I will come back and keep it here because I don't want multiple books. What if I lose? What if I lost it? What if it got stolen? What if something happened to it and I lose all this information? I want all my information kept here. So the information that is going to be in a different book, they have these lists. And there's all kinds of different lists. This is just regular to-do list, or no? Notes. These are just notes. So this is just a note sheet of notes. I don't know if it opens. The to-do ones open. Yeah, no, this just... So I can write out Genesis 6:9 here, the study note, however long it is. If it's short, I can fit on a couple of them, and I can place it here, and I can have all those notes right here in the book itself. There's different colors. They have ones for different days, so maybe there's a verse of the day that really spoke to me. I can keep track of that. But play around with it. Play around with it. Don't overwhelm yourself. This is a weekly meal. I don't think I would use something like this. I mean, you can always cross this out like I have done with everything else. So if you have only this on hand, you can cross out the meal plan, and you can also cross out the days. You can just cross out the days and say, this is for Genesis 6:1. This is for Genesis 51. It does, or 50. There's no 51, but you know what I'm saying. So you can use whatever you have on hand. Okay? So that's what I will be doing here. I will remove these and just keep it all together. Just add those little sleeves. You can add full. I need to get more full sheets because I'm completely used all my full sheets here. I'll get more full sheets, and I may use full sheets or half a sheets. It'll depend on how I want to do it. And then the end of it, same thing. There are a couple of verses here that I have with, I don't know if it was just, yeah, it was the verse. So here, it's real simple to look at too. Like if I gave you this book, you can understand what I did. That's the purpose of this. So if I gave it to you, you didn't have to sit there and watch me do it. You can easily read, okay, this is Genesis 41:16. This is the verse and the translation that she was using. The study note that she has for this one particular verse came from the Life Application Study Bible. So I really wanted it very, very detailed so the person who was reading through it, looking through it, could understand it. Versus me leaving out the Life Application Study note, they would have thought like, oh, well, this is her interpretation. This is her trying to reword this. They would have to guess what I was writing down and where this had come from. I took all that guesswork out and I just wrote it out right there. These are words, names of God and where they can be found. Always love having that list, so I wanted to make sure it was at the beginning. And then this is Exodus. So this is the information, the vital information that it comes from the Life Application Study Bible. This is a blueprint. I have not filled this out yet. Don't know what's going to go here. I'm letting each book be different. I'm not going to have the repetitive. If I am repetitive in any way, I tend to get bored. I tend to get overwhelmed, and I will not do it. So I want to do it. So I want to make sure I'm changing things up with every single book. If it's super important, I'll put it in here. If it's not, I'll continue on going. And if by some chance, maybe Leviticus comes here, I'll get the base of the meat. So the outline, all the information that I always skip over, the who, what, when, where, I skip over that. I don't really need it. This is the time where I'm going to pay attention to that stuff. All right. So one of the real big study notes I liked here was Exodus 1:12. And I, as you could tell, pulled out a couple of really important words that I felt was really vital to the second book. So Exodus. And then right here, here's a little symbol, the ark. The ark, just different little things like that are really nonchalant to anybody else that would be probably reading the book. They'll probably be focused on different things. I just want to, and it's also an amazing way to see your growth. So if I do this again in 7 years, all this little stuff may not be what I will be drawn to. My thoughts, my plan, my writing, my way of studying completely may be more of a theological, not so much of a, how can I base it right now? Not so much of a, what am I thinking, what draws to me, but more of, where did this meat come from? How did they get to this? How, I don't know. So it will be cool to come back and have a book to see, okay, this is where it started. This is where it began. This is how, the in-between, like, oh, her mindset was this. Now her mindset is there. This is the work that it took in between. I don't know. I just think it's cool. And seeing a whole book like that, all 66 books of the Bible filled up, it's going to be amazing. I do have Post-it notes sprinkled. So, and then these were just, all of these had January, April, all of those. They all had the months. I just cut them off. So I left the beautiful little, and their full page. So if we look at it, these first 2 pages, it's the full month. So I could have used that instead of gluing it up like a dummy. I could have used that. That could have been 2 extra pages I could have written on. But because I didn't know what I was doing, where I was going, I figured just glue them together. Again, don't know why. I could have used those. Those would be vital papers I could have filled out. So don't do that. Don't glue up anything. Don't take away papers. Just mark out. Mark out whatever you don't need. Like I did here, the monthly goals. You can even use whiteout. If you don't like to see a little scribbled mark, use whiteout. Use washi tape. Use a cute sticker. Don't tape 2 very, very usable pieces of paper together. All right. So that was something else I've done. Maybe you can learn from. Any extra spaces, I could add more washi, or not washi, Post-it notes. That's all these are, just Post-it notes. Any blank space I could, that's what I did. Don't add too much because too much will either fall off. This fell off because I had too many sticking there. The little ones, they kind of do stick good. I just use a tape runner to the back of them and I press it down. So that's how they're sticking there. I really love these. And then in the very back, I do have extra papers. So I know there's going to be a lot of information I need for Revelation, because if you read Revelation, there's a lot of stuff to absorb, a lot of stuff to go over, a lot of stuff to reference. So you're going to need a good chunk of paper back here. But so I used it for that book, or if I need to use anything extra papers for whatever book here. And then the same thing here. If I need extra room for storage, I have a little folder for the same reason. And then these are transparent Post-it notes. Again, Mr. Pins, transparent Post-it notes. I just glued them down here. This is just the back of the cover. All right, so help me come up with a name, you all. The pins that I am using, I use these ones, the Precision V5s from Pilot, the Pilot G2s, Mr. Pen, and I forget that name. Again, Amazon retractable pen, and all these beautiful pens pop up. They're all amazing. These came in a set that my husband sent me. They're Papermate flares. I have hundreds of them. So many of them, but they're like the thicker ones. So these ones come with a medium and ultra fine. And I love that. I never seen a set like that where you're going to get both medium and ultra fine together. So make sure you check that out. All right, remember, be a creative tool in our Father's Art Box. I will talk to you all later. Help me come up with a name, please. All right.